It's a surprising find just yards away from a local military base.
Virginia Beach police and animal control bust a suspected cockfighting ring. The discovery was made off Dam Neck Road.
More than 200 birds had to be rescued. They're being cared for by animal control. Tonight, the two men you see right here, Emmanuel Garcia and Rolando Geronimo, face some serious charges.
13 News Now anchor Erin LeBeau has the story.
I've never come across a case involving animal fighting of this nature.
Virginia Beach Animal Control came across something unusual off of Dam Neck Road near the Navy's Dam Neck Annex.
This incident started with just a simple cruelty investigation. When officers responded out, we found a large amount of birds.
But not just any birds, more than 200 chickens. Megan Conti says investigators believe were used for fighting. The physical act was not caught. Conti says there was enough evidence to press charges.
It doesn't necessarily have to be just fighting. It can be anything that involves a person in fighting. So raising the animals, betting on animals, or on fighting, paraphernalia that supports fighting.
Monday, police arrested Emmanuel Garcia and Rolando Geronimo. Both men are facing 10 animal fighting charges, as well as several others. The birds are in the care of animal control. Conti wasn't able to give details about their condition or what will happen to them, but she says no decision will be made until they are healthy. I'm Erin LeBeau, 13 News Now.
Cockfighting causes suffering in birds. That is according to the Humane Society. They say the most common injuries include punctured lungs, broken bones, and pierced eyes. Razor-sharp blades tied to the bird's legs are so sharp cockfighters have been accidentally killed by their own birds. Cockfighting is against